Welcome back, everyone. As of our taping late in the week, lawmakers on Capitol Hill did get together late this week to work on a budget deal that would avert a government shutdown for at least 2 years. Not included, though, in that budget an extension on unemployment benefits. If members of Congress don't vote to extend emergency unemployment compensation past December 28th, nearly 130,000 Ohioans would lose their unemployment benefits after Christmas. Now, Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro has been looking at this issue on Capitol Hill, and I spoke with Jacqueline earlier this week. The big question remains, can anything get done before members of Congress recess for the holiday and ring in 2014 here? Can anything be done to extend this emergency unemployment compensation?
Lee, probably not. I've talked to a lot of members of Congress about this on both sides of the aisle. It's probably not going to make it to the House floor, that's for sure. Republicans don't want to vote on it. They don't want to be on record of voting no for something like this. And Democrats say, though, that they're going to make a big stink about it and they're going to bring this back and try to get it on the floor somehow in the beginning of next year. And
what exactly are we talking about in terms of benefits for Ohio? How much money are we talking about?
Well, it's a lot of money. Let me talk about the weeks. In Ohio, you get 26 weeks from the state, and then after that, the federal benefits kick in. Those are the benefits that we're talking about right now. Do members of Congress want to extend them for people in Ohio? And in Ohio, you get another 37 weeks after that first 26 from the state. And people get about $320 per week that receive these benefits in Ohio. And I've studied the numbers for many other states. I can tell you that in Ohio, the benefits are rather generous.
Yeah, and tough to see that money go away. What are our members in Congress talking about? You're our boots on the ground there. What are they saying? What are they telling you about this compensation issue?
Well, Lee, I've talked to all of them. When it comes to Democratic Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, she says that she wants to see this extended and she'll do anything to vote for that. So her vote is yes. When I reached out to Congressman Bob Latta's office, they tell me they are not taking a position on it just yet. When it comes to the senators, when I talked to Senator Sherrod Brown, I sat down and did a long-form interview with him on the subject, and he really wants to see this happen. He told me, you know, he thinks about everyone here in Washington wearing their suits every single day to work, and he can't imagine anyone here voting no for this. And then when it comes to Senator Rob Portman, a Republican, I asked his office about it. They didn't give me a direct answer, but he has talked about it before. And one of his big sticking points is how much money it adds to the budget. I have the number here, $25 billion, and that's the sticking point for him.
For sure. And what about the White House? We understand the White House has pushed for it, is pushing for it. Is that where they are right now?
Yeah, Lee, they definitely are. I have actually the report here. I brought it with me. It's a little tattered because I've been reading a lot of it, but the White House wants to see this happen. They say in this report that it will actually hurt the GDP next year if we don't extend these unemployment benefits. Now, they've come to Congress and made that clear, but I actually talked to a congresswoman from Michigan today, a Republican, who says, yeah, the White House tells us they want us to do this. However, they're not giving us, any way to figure out if we have enough money to do it, and that's what they say they're waiting for.
Okay, and in terms of taking the recess for the holiday, and they're going to go away, and this issue may not be solved, is there anything left on the table that you think they're going to address or that will not be addressed before they go away for the holiday?
You know what, Lee, I wish I could tell you that there was a lot that's going to get done before that time, but I really don't think there is. We'll see, what the House works on, but they're going to be gone, and then the Senate will be here for a few days, and there just really isn't a lot on the table. I can tell you that what isn't going to get done is the Farm Bill, something that we've been waiting for literally years, and we'll have to wait till the beginning of next year. As long as the shutdown is averted, that's what everyone's talking about right now.
Jacqueline Policastro, our Washington Bureau Chief. Now, we did talk with Senator Sherrod Brown late this week about this budget deal being worked out in Congress. He says he's generally pleased, but once again, not pleased with the unemployment compensation extension, the lack of the agreement on that front. So here's more of our conversation with the senator shortly after the budget deal was agreed to. Moving forward, what does this Ryan Murray deal mean going forward, do you think, for lawmakers getting together in 2014 on other issues?
Well, I think it means that there's just some cooperation now. The Tea Party realizes the public doesn't particularly like it when Washington fights on so many things. I've worked today in committee to help those and got a bipartisan vote and a winning vote on people that are struggling and live on Medicaid, they get a job, they're paid a little more, they don't lose their insurance. I mean, there are a lot of things like that that I'm doing bipartisanly and that we need to see more of on the Farm Bill, on a whole host on immigration, on a whole host of jobs bills. It's good for our state, it's good for our country, and I think today is this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I was talking with Jacqueline Policastro, our Washington bureau chief, just had her on just moments ago, talking about the Farm Bill. There didn't appear to be a lot of optimism, room for optimism that a deal will get done before Congress goes away for the holiday break. But can you speak differently to that? Do you think a deal is going to get done here?
Well, I think we're very close to a deal. I talked with Chairwoman Stabenow from across the state line in Michigan, who is optimistic. The problem is the House of Representatives is going home for Christmas on tomorrow or Saturday, and I'm hopeful that they'll stick around or come back because we can get a farm bill deal. It's best for farmers. 1 out of 7 jobs in Ohio is connected to food and agriculture, and to walk away just because it's the Christmas holidays when we're elected and hired to do a job is wrong, and the House of Representatives should stay and work and pass this farm bill, not kick it over till next year, because once you do that, all kinds of things can happen. I mean, this was bipartisan. We've worked on this we've passed it twice in the Senate, 2 years in a row. The House needs to do its job.
You mentioned so many things related to it and jobs tied to the Farm Bill. Of course, food stamps part of that. And we keep hearing, Senator, about milk going to $7-8 a gallon. I mean, do you really think that'll happen if Congress doesn't come back during the next week and sit down and hammer out a deal? Do you really believe that milk's going to go to $7 or $8 a gallon?
Well, I don't think if we do our job, either if the House stays and does its work next week or we do it in the first week or so of January, I don't think there's a real chance of milk prices just exploding like that. But we shouldn't be taking that chance. We should get this done now and put people's minds at rest. I mean, one of the things that happens too much here is we don't do our jobs to begin with, and the public starts to worry and get anxious, and business investment can dry up because it's not predictable enough. All those things we got to do better.
U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. When we come back, Take 3 with London Mitchell of Cumulus Radio and Marlene Harris-Taylor of the Toledo Blade. Do stay with us. Conklin Company continues in just a minute. Police Chief, what are the issues we'll talk about?